There's nobody who doesn't know Mututho. Mututho is associated with the Mututho laws, which tightened the way alcohol is consumed, the time period. It enforced the closure of bars and the times of opening, the times of alcohol is being sold, and so on. And he paid a very heavy political price for it, because the people of Naivasha would not hear anything of Mututho, and he was voted out. In fact, countrywide, they always talk about Mututho. I mean, you'd go into a bar and you tell somebody from Naivasha, and then the first thing they tell you is, how are you guys electing somebody who does not want us to have alcohol? Maybe that's a bit on the light side, but that is a true situation. But now, John Michael Njenga Mututho wants to be governor of Nakuru. And what is very interesting, because this man is always controversial, is his running mate. His running mate is a 26-year-old stunning young girl. Yeah? Her name is Chebet, Maureen Chebet. Actually, she's a teacher, high school teacher. And guess what subject she teaches? CRE, Christian Religious Education. And she hails from a place called Kapkores in Kurusoit South, one of the more poverty-stricken areas of the Rift Valley. But very interesting is the way Mututho is positioning himself, and especially her. The word going around the county is that she will champion the rights of the less fortunate, the poor parts of Nakuru, and so on and so forth. Now, sitting outside Nakuru, analyze this from elsewhere, you know, it all looks like cheap PR and cheap publicity. You can see through it from 100 miles away. However, the people on the ground are swallowing it hook, line and sinker. And I think it has less to do with Mututho and more to do with the incumbent, Governor Kinuthia Mpogwa. The truth is that Governor Kinuthia has to be one of the least colorful governors we have in the country. Hardly surprising, because he's a former cop. He was a former commandant of the administration police. In fact, I've never understood how policemen transform into politicians. How Fundays change and become good guys asking for votes is a mystery I don't think I'll ever be able to solve. But that's the situation. And actually, the governorship of Governor Kinuthia has been very authoritative. It has kept its distance with the people on the ground. Even as, you know, Nakuru, to be honest and to be fair to Governor Kinuthia, Nakuru is a cosmopolitan town, very large, with very many problems, and difficult to govern, difficult to be successful at governing. But the situation has been made worse by his character. He's not really a politician as such, because in my view, a politician needs to have a certain charisma, needs to be able to talk to people. They need to be able to reach people right down in the grassroots and on the ground. Now, can you picture Governor Kinuthia speaking to some poverty-stricken person at a corner of Kirosoi or any other area of Nakuru County? Difficult to do that. And that is why Mututho's exciting, because he calls it exciting leadership. That's why Mututho's exciting bid for the governorship in Nakuru has really raised political temperatures in Nakuru, and that should be one of the most interesting races for governor in the country. And actually, it's going to be decided on April 20th, because, not August, yes, April 20th. And that's because that's when the nominations are happening, or the what we call Muchujo of Jubilee Party. Because whoever gets the Jubilee ticket, most probably, will become governor. Effectively, the elections will end on April 20th. So right now, April 20th is just around the corner. That should be a place where we should keep a very close eye on. Our information on the ground is that Mututho's popularity is on the rise. There are some who say he's slightly more popular than the incumbent, Governor Kinuthia. The others who say he's much more popular than the incumbent. So let's wait and see what happens on April 20th. But it seems, from our information, if the elections if the primaries are free and fair, then this former AP cop should be going home. But let's go back to Mututho. Mututho actually put an ad advertising for a young person between the age of 26 and 35. And I'm told a lot of young people came forward because nobody would hate to be the deputy governor of Nakuru at such a young age. And from all these people, Mututho chose Maureen. Obviously, one of the reasons why Mututho chose her is that she's a CRE teacher and supposedly does not consume alcohol. Yes, Mututho is a big enemy of alcohol. Still is. And as you know, Nakuru is, well, some people call Nakuru the Las Vegas of Kenya. People like to have fun there. And the few times I've gone to Nakuru, I get the impression people hardly sleep, especially on weekends. They spend the whole weekend indulging in alcohol. Well, what the new governor-to-be, Mututho, is doing is downplaying his hatred for alcohol, appealing more to the youth, and looking and attacking the weaknesses which the current governor has had, which are many. And so it looks like if nothing out of the ordinary happens, then it seems the next governor of Nakuru is going to be Mututho. Because on the ground, we hear people are not talking about anybody else except Mututho. But what are the advantages of having a very young, very attractive girl on your corner? I think Mututho is a very sharp strategist because a lot of voters are young people. And Mututho taking his credentials so far, anti-alcohol, old school, his age and so on, it would have been very difficult to penetrate into this age group. But by having a running mate who is one of the young people, that changes everything. And I think this was quite a smart move on the part of Bwana Mututho. But it remains to be seen how effective it is going to be on voting day. Because the issue is how many voters are registered. And then don't forget, we've also had a major problem with many young people not being able to get voting credentials because they don't have identity cards. Admittedly, this has not been a problem in Nakuru County. So I think we should stand by the prediction that if nothing out of the ordinary happens, then Bwana Mututho is the next governor of Nakuru County. What are the skeletons in John Michael Njenga Mututho's closet? Well, in 2005, Mututho was charged with fraud. Actually, the whole case was about transactions in 2001, where he asked for a tax refund from the Kenya Revenue Authority. This was in relation to some bedside lockers he had supplied to Kenyatta National Hospital. And apparently, the cash he asked for was not justified, considering what he had supplied. It was a technical case. And Mututho got away because there was lack of enough evidence. What did Mututho himself say about the accusations? He claimed that they're all politically motivated and that they had something to do with his fight against, or rather his opposition of the watered-down constitution which Kibaki was trying to force down the throats of Kenyans in 2005 referendum. And he claims that's where all his troubles came from. Well, that's difficult to tell, and since he was completely absolved and the case was dismissed, nobody can hold that against him. But that is the situation. I am not sure if his opponents are going to bring this up, his legal troubles before. But apart from that, it's interesting some of the attacks which the current incumbent Kinuthia has been using against Mututho. Kinuthia claims that Mututho has completely failed as chairman of NACADA. He points to the serious alcohol problems within Nakuru County, where there have been road accidents caused by young people, which can be traced back to overconsumption of alcohol and so on and so forth. And these are the accusations is putting against Mututho as we go into the elections. Well, I don't know if the voters are going to buy that, but that's definitely one of the accusations being leveled against Mututho. It will be very interesting to see how this develops. It will be very interesting to see what the voters think, especially the older voters, what they think of this old man getting this very young girl to be his running mate. I'm not sure if they're going to raise questions like, is she able to step into his shoes in case of anything? Because really a deputy governor is supposed to step in. I mean, if, for example, the governor is incapacitated in any way or not able to run their duties, then it is up to the deputy governor to take over. And Mututho has not made any contract with God that is not going to be sick or is not going to reach a situation whereby he'll not be able to work as governor. He'll not be able to deliver and carry out his duties. So that is a question which has to be raised, because governorship is actually president of a county. It involves a lot. And the way counties are being run in Kenya, it is micromanagement by the governor. So that raises issues of, how effective will this particular partnership be? How effective will be Madam Maureen Chebet as Deputy Governor of Nakuru? Those are the questions which are going to be raised. And they'll be raised soon, because as I've told you, the primaries are just around the corner. They're going to be on April 20th. So let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what unfolds. But that's what you have in Nakuru County. Very interesting. I know a lot of people are interested in the Nakuru County governorship race for many reasons. There are a lot of people who come from Nakuru. There are a lot of people who have businesses in Nakuru. There are a lot of people with some sort of connection with Nakuru. So let's wait and see how this thing pans out. This is Chris Kumekucha. Till next time, thank you and bye.